Good morning. It is Wealth Warrior Morning, and we are so glad to be joining you this morning. Thank you for being here. It is Brent Harding and Pamela Stone on for this morning's broadcast. We started off with one thought process, and we were going to get very heavy into protecting your assets and looking at trusts and limited liability corporations and all of that good stuff that is in fact a part of your wealth. Because in order to have the wealth, we say that you can make it, but it's not just about making the money. It's just not about making the currency. It is about holding on to it. And then what the heck happened? Oh my goodness, has this week been crazy? So we said this morning, you know what, we've got to do a Larry King Live, and we have got to talk about the BritX, because that is now front and center about protecting your assets. In fact, Pamela, what was the first thing that you said to me this morning when I said, you know what, we need to change this topic? What did you say you're going to do on Monday?
I am going to go talk to my financial advisor. And that really is what I'm doing, everyone. And you know what? You need to take heed and take a look at things. We'll talk more about this, but yes, I am going to go to advisor on Monday morning.
Oh my goodness. This scenario with the BritX has just, what it has done is, in my mind, it has really reinforced why Pamela and I are here, why we talk about wealth, and the direction that the Wealth Warriors is going in. Let me share that with you for the moment. The strategy, I have been working with a branding person this week, for the past couple of weeks, and I will be working with them for a total of 10 weeks. And the conversation that we had was around what's the focal point for Wealth Warrior Legacies, and where do we want to focus our attention, and what happened in Europe really made it stand out, and what am I talking about relative to strategy? And that is, owning your own business is part of the strategy, because that gives you an opportunity to control your environment. Why? Because it is about you or I going out and not only creating the business, we're marketing ourselves, we're selling whatever the product is. And that product can be a physical product, it can be an online product, whatever the product is that runs your business, that moves and motivates people to purchase from you, is critical to your overall wealth. We're hearing about people that are going to they're going to lose their jobs, yada 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 yada. Here's the point. One of the three pillars is about owning your own business. That's one of our Wealth Warrior strategies. That second one is real estate. And the third one is monetary instruments. Those three buckets are incredibly powerful. Now, how does this play out relative to what's going on in the UK and the BritX and that vote that has occurred? I was listening to Representative Gregory Meeks out of New York this morning speak about the fact that companies are thinking about moving. They're thinking, hey, I need to move out of here, because what's going to happen, we don't know. But what we do know is that we are in a very volatile state. You've been listening to that all week long. We are in a volatile place right now. Pamela, why don't you speak to volatility as you are seeing it, or as your constituency is sharing it with you?
You know what? Here's my thing. Funny enough, once we started, on here in Columbus, my office, it really brought a red flag up. It's saying, okay, what are we to do next? And here's the worst, as I keep talking about, we need to prepare our next generation. And this right here that happened is the true reason why we need to prepare our next generation and help them become stable and help them to become entrepreneurs of their own. So guess what? And thinking about, what am I going to do next? So that here is, this is a wake up call. If nothing else, this should be a wake up call to everybody to say, what am I going to do next? And entrepreneurship, I'm with Miss Brent. Totally is the way. Totally is the way you control your money.
I agree with you wholeheartedly on that, and thank you very much for that validation. You know what, there are two components here. There's us right now in the here and now, and then as Pamela's brought out, it is the next generation. Because imagine you're hearing leaders saying, "I don't know what's next." Is that not phenomenal? If anything, it does two, it has two emotions are set off. One is an emotion of fear, because if they don't know, then how are we to know? Is that not correct? If they don't get it, if they don't know, if they had nothing else in place, then what is it to us? And what it does say to us is our responsibility to ourselves is to garner knowledge. Our responsibility to ourselves is about protection, because what people are thinking about right now is, if it happened over there, could it happen over here? Or what would happen over here? People are looking at their 401ks and they are saying, oh my goodness, thousands of dollars are lost, but we're going to have a correction. But we're going to have a correction. But by the same token, you have the former head of, excuse me, let me rephrase this. You have Alan Greenspan, the former head of the Federal Reserve, saying, this is the worst I've ever seen. And you're thinking, what? And then to hear that the catalyst of this started in 2014, and it was put together in a pizza shop in Chicago. I have no words. Pamela, what are your thoughts?
I'm speechless. I am totally speaking. We have so many people on so many other people. This should be your wake-up call. You need to count on yourself, and you need to know where your dollars are and how to invest in your dollars and where to invest your dollars at. I'm telling you, if nothing else, this should be a huge wake-up call for everybody. Not saying it to create a panic, but to think of what is your next step. And I'm asking everybody, what are you going to do? You have to start this, make us to think about, what are we going to do next? What are we going to do next? And especially if you don't have nothing to fall back on, if you are not your own boss, this is really now the true wake-up call to everybody. And you're right, fear, but now this one, fear, as I tell everybody, don't let this fear make you run underneath the rock. You need to come outside of the rock and start learning and help you get to the next level.
I couldn't have said it better. That remove the fear, leave that over to the side, compartmentalize it, because now is the time to take action. Now is the time to take action. It is a wake-up call. There will be a correction in the marketplace. Now is the time to take advantage of not only what we're talking about when we say about ownership, whatever your job is, whatever your investments are, now is the time to pull it and take advantage of it. Start with, in fact, actually, all three of these activities should be working at the same time. Why? Ownership of a business, you've got your job, fantastic. Now you're looking at those dollars and cents and you're saying, allocating money, because you've seen this happen. Some people feel that they were duped. Others are now ready to have a referendum. We've got Scotland that's saying, no, I want to stay with the euro. You've got London, who I guess they would love to pull themselves out and say specifically, I want to go back. Now people are feeling phenomenally duped. Like they were led to believe one thing And and their emotions ran rapid. And the result, what was interesting is as people were interviewed, some of the things that they were saying were just phenomenal. They were going, well, wait a second, we just wanted to send a message. We didn't realize that when we sent that message, what would happen to us. When we looked at the top 8 economies, the US is number one. Britain was, or the UK is number 2, or was number 2 up until yesterday. They had no idea that the sterling would fall, that they would be breaking up. In other words, the size of the UK was huge. You had Ireland, Scotland, you had the UK, you had London, you had that whole, England rather, you had that whole piece. And now it's breaking up. And it's having a tumultuous effect on our entire economy. If that is not a wake up call, as Pamela said, I can't imagine what could
But
cause us to have that wake up call. What were you saying, Pamela?
I was going to say, if that's not a wake up call, I don't know what else can be a wake up call for you. I truly can. And you know, here's the thing. We also talked about the 401k. How many people here really depend on their 401k? Be cautious. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm saying be cautious. Use your money wisely and invest wisely.
You know, Pamela,
There is that.
Pamela, I agree with you. If from that perspective, it's not only use your money wisely, know where your money is going. That's within that 401k, and begin and understand to diversify that so that it is not all concentrated in areas that you're not even cognizant of. A lot of times people put it in there and then they go, well, it's being managed. No, we are the stewards of our family. What we're talking about here is creating legacies. We are saying that we are totally dedicated to creating wealth and leaving legacies for the next generation. Now, that doesn't mean we do not live ourselves, but you hear me all of the time say this, old money did not start as old money. It started as new money that became old as a result of what the generations prior to us did, as a result of how we are investing. That is what will sustain and hold us. Because I'll tell you what, when we talk about real estate, there's no more earth to be created. The earth is already set. It's already here.
That's
And
right.
go right ahead, Pamela, go right ahead.
I was saying, I'm so agree with you. You're absolutely. The earth is here. Now it's up to us to do the rest.
With
So come on, everybody.
without
We
a
got
doubt,
to, we got to.
without a doubt, the earth is already here. So we've shared with you, it's what's amazing is I'm going to sit here and say, two ladies, one in Massachusetts, one in Ohio, two ladies here sitting here saying, we got the answers. We figured it out. We got the blueprint because we're staying consistent and staying the course. People are, oh, what did we say in the beginning? We synthesized this down into 3 areas. We said ownership. We need to own our businesses. Why do people leave other countries and come to the United States so they can get a piece of the pie? And that is to own. If you've got a job, great, then that job is your first customer or is your primary customer. What else do you have that's going to create income? The value of the dollar is strong here. So, what's another component? That is real estate. You have heard us speak about real estate over and over and over again. And here's what's interesting is even if your real estate is upside down, we know that eventually real estate comes back up. Right now, we are still in the perform to norm stage of real estate. And when real estate is not saleable, it is rentable. So it still works. Real estate is powerful. Pamela, speak to real estate as a component of our wealth.
Funny enough, I'm glad you talked about that, brought that up. I actually, my girlfriend and I are now partnering up and looking into doing together because, again, that's another level of where we can bring in some income into ourselves. Now, I'm going to say this. I know we have men warriors on here, but I want the women warriors to listen because I'm telling so many women that are counting on everybody else. Ladies, take the bull by the horn.
I love that.
Excuse me, get
Grab
out
that
here and
ball.
that's right, and learn it. How do you think Miss Brent and I did? We learned it. You get out here and learn how to do it. And wouldn't it be phenomenal if women came out here and empowered the real estate market? But the first thing first is to learn it.
Absolutely.
And once you learn it, and then you teach someone else, and you teach another person, and you teach another person. And guess what? It's break the market. Get out here, ladies. And just like I said, men, no offense. Men, I did not disrespecting you, but right now I'm talking to the ladies, because it was funny enough. How many ladies do you know that are out here in real estate, not saying the real estate company that owns property after property after property? I went to a conference. Do you know how many women stood in the line to learn how to do real estate? I say less than 30. That is crazy. I wanted to get up and say, get up, learn the real estate, because you don't know how that can line your pockets.
You know, it's interesting. I went to now I had a different experience and I was stunned by it. I went to a what I thought initially was a networking because it was promoted as a networking event. There were 45 women in the room. And I looked at the layout of the room and I wait a second, this is awfully strange for a networking event that we've got theater style seating. And then I came to find out that it was actually a discussion on real estate investing. And what was phenomenal, though, is that it took the women a little bit to figure out, okay, maybe I should stay anyway. And I want to applaud those ladies for staying. And what was fascinating, it was 12 noon on a Wednesday, and they were there. However, they committed to following through, as you pointed out, Pamela, they committed to following through to become real estate investors. See, that's an operative word, invest. You invest in your business, you invest in real estate. And I'll tell you what, there are there are ways, there are strategies that can be utilized so that you collaborate and begin purchasing now. If you do not have a lot of capital, now you got to have a few coins to rub together. But if you do not have a lot of capital, there are strategies, there are ways that you can actually be paid. For example, you can actually sign an agreement and you can assign that agreement. The person that purchases that agreement from you pays you cash. You can be paid in some instances anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 just for the assignment of the property. If you're the person that is fortunate enough, or you've strategized, or you've structured a way that you can get into the game and you can tie up that property, and we're going to talk about this in an upcoming episode, tying up that property, getting that property in such a manner that you can assign it to somebody else. So you might have somebody on this side that wants to purchase, and they know that you are a real estate investor. They let you know what products they're looking for. You, on the other hand, have scoured and you've tied up some property, and you marry those together. And what ends up happening for you is you can get some cash out of that transaction. You get cash for the assignment of that purchase and sales agreement, for the assignment of that offer. You're the one that picks up the ball. You pulled in some cash, and all you need is 2 or 3 of those. And guess what? You've got a pot to start working with. That is what we're talking about, creating something where something didn't exist before, to offset what you see happening. And therefore, you know what? You're not scrambling. You've got a level head. And that level head is going to turn into wealth. Pamela, what do you think about that one?
I think that's phenomenal. Now, I do want to add, I can hear ladies saying, well, I don't have the credit. There is ways around it, as Miss Brent said. And actually, if you contact Miss Brent, she can show you how to get to that level. So just don't let anything stop you. Call someone. Call Miss Brent. If you can't call Miss Brent, reach out to me. I can help you get to that point. So absolutely, don't let this scare. It should be a point of let's get together and figure out how to get to that next level.
And you know what's interesting that you say, just had a little cough myself.
I know,
What's
right?
interesting about this is the word control. You tie up a piece of property, you're not actually purchasing it. There's somebody over here that is. That has nothing to do with your credit. Nothing to do. But Pamela is correct.
Do you hear that?
What was that again, Pamela?
I keep telling the ladies, do you hear her? So don't let this scare you, because I have seen some women are like, well, or a little hesitant. This shouldn't be a hesitant. This should be your learning tool, and get out there. And there's ways around. There's so many ways around things. You just have to get to the right person, and they can help you get to the next level.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And that takes us to the third strategy, or the third platform, if you will, of wealth warriors. And that is monetary instruments. Now, ironically enough, I'm going to put gold, Gold, in a monetary instrument. I'm going to put it in that category. And the reason that I am is because I'm wanting for you to get clear and to understand that gold is powerful. We saw stocks go down, and what did we see happen with gold? Gold went up by as much as $50 an ounce, bringing gold to somewhere around $1,300 plus dollars. Amazing. If you took some of the money that you made in real estate and put it into gold, balance you would have across the board. Now, even now, right now is a great time to look at some of the stocks that have dropped, because we know that they're going to come up. What do we say? You buy low and sell high. Now it's lowered. So for some of you, you're going, oh, I'm afraid. Look at safety zones. Look at safe harbors. There are safe harbors out there. There are stocks that haven't taken that much of a hit that you could afford to put your dollars and cents in. How about oil right now? Oil has dropped. How about $40 a barrel? Could you not take $40 out and maybe you're not going to buy that pair of shoes, or those two pair of shoes, and you buy into a few pieces of stock? Do you know that my grandmother, when she worked in the trust department, and there were people that were purchasing 100 shares, she'd purchase two. They'd purchase 200 shares. She might purchase four. My grandmother passed 26 years ago, and our family is still receiving dividends as a result of something that my grandmother did. See, that is old money. That is legacy. It's what we do right now with a level head. I'm not suggesting any particular stock, but what I am suggesting is watching shows like Jim Cramer's show and looking at what is going on. What does he have to say about stock, and where is he making suggestions? So what Pamela said about us educating ourselves, not only are we going to educate, but we're going to become a resource for you. We're going to call upon, I'm going to see if I can get Frederick Capital to come in next week and talk to us about what all of this dynamic has created and where there are opportunities to seize. Because see, wealthy people seize opportunities. They do not sit there and see this as what they see is what opportunity is available that I can garner that's going to enhance that legacy. Pamela, what do you think about that? What are you thinking about that, Pamela? Oh,
That's phenomenal.
you were so focused. You're like, Brent, you finished yet? Go
Yeah,
right ahead, Pamela.
exciting. I mean, honestly, this that happened is an opportunity. And me, I'm like, oh, I can't wait. Teach me how I can get to the next level. And you know what's even better? You're gonna bring an educator on to help us to understand it and help us even, guess what? Get to that point. So absolutely, I'm excited to have someone on. So again, we have a place where you can get resources on how to get you to where you got to get to.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that's powerful right now is that we are all learning together. We are the first generation wealth babies. And let's say that you have funds that are already coming in, or you have money as a result of what that generation has done prior to you. Are you going to be able to take the legacy further? Are you going to be able to make that happen? That's the question that ought to be running through your mind is now, can I seize opportunities? Who's my professional that I'm going to go to on Monday? Because I'll tell you what's happening over in the UK right now, in many parts of Europe. They're already meeting over the weekend. They're already meeting over the weekend because they know the next business day is Monday. So they are meeting today. They will be meeting tomorrow. They will be laying out their plan. So I'm submitting to you. Have you brought all of your paperwork in order? Do you have a location where all of your assets, where everything is already there? And I'll tell you what, ladies, we are some dynamic individuals. We are an army. We truly are. However, does the army know the plays? Does the army know all the details? And again, I agree with Pamela. It is not this Wealth Warriors is for all of us. We want the husband and wife teams working together. We want the partnerships working together. What we do know is historically, ladies, we are involved in nurturing our families. We're involved in raising our children. We are generally the first point of contact. In many instances, we defer those financial issues to our partners. And as a result of that, we're not cognizant. We don't always know what's going on. And we're not negating you. We're saying history is substantiating it. Now it's time for us to be mano y mano, to be partnering together so that everything grows. That is powerful. You know, I shared with you that I am the ambassador. I am an ambassador of one of about 12 to 20 of us are ambassadors to a conference that's going to be coming up on July 29th through the 31st. And it started off as She Speaks. This year it's She Speaks and He Speaks, because we're coming together as units. But we needed to give the ladies an opportunity to be in their space and to not be vulnerable to the fact that we just didn't know what we didn't know. And now we know. And so now we can bring both parties together. And in fact, you will meet Pamela and I there in Atlanta. And what is this going to be about? It's going to be about finance. It's going to be about our stories. It's going to be about taking it to the next level. It's going to be about making connections, because there will be people connecting there. And that is what creates a movement. It creates the synergy, it creates the drive, and it produces legacies. And that's why we're here. Woo! Pamela, was that hot or what?
That
Was that hot or
was
what?
hot. I am so excited. I am so excited. Again, I'm just, ladies, don't fall to the good time. And funny enough, you have support. Brent and I are helping you. So don't fall to the wayside. We got you.
Absolutely. We've got you because we are on a mission. The interesting thing is, like any correction, we didn't say it's going to happen overnight. We're giving ourselves 5 years, giving ourselves 60 months. And actually we are now in the 40s, because we spent 12 months just ramping it up. And it was new for me, it was new for Pamela to figure out how we're going to make the technology work so we can share this information with you. We need to do research so we can share it. You know, one of the powerful things about teaching, which is why I appreciated when Pamela said teach another, is because it reinforces in us that information. And we start to become experts. You become experts because you are sharing it with others. You're passing it on to the next generation. And that's what makes it phenomenally powerful, is we are learning. We're first generation. Hashtag I am a first generation wealth baby. I am a first generation wealth baby. Hashtag I am a lady warrior. Hashtag what are you? That's what the Britics is. It's a horrific thing. And it has a tumultuous effect around the world. However, it is our opportunity to utilize this. In many cases, it has leveled the playing field. It has shaken up and leveled the playing field. And you say, Brent, wait a minute. I do not have the resources or the money. So how is this leveled the playing field for me? You know how it's leveled the playing field? Because there are so many that are walking around, leaders that are walking around that are saying, I don't know what to do. What's next? That is a leveling of the playing field. When we talk about planning and we talk about our blueprint, now you can see why we're talking about our blueprints. I'm not going to get into politics, if you will. However, what I will say is this, even here in the US, you've got people that want to make a movement, and when you say, okay, well, what happens next? That's exactly what you got. Pure and unadulterated silence. We're saying we know what to do next. 1, 2, 3 pots. Starting now. Hitting the restart button if we need to. Hitting the start button. Action speaks louder than words. Does it not? Pamela, what are you thinking right now?
I'm sorry, we had broken up there, so I'm just now coming back. What did you ask?
I said, what are you thinking right now with the thought process around the fact that the field the playing field has actually been leveled? And I said the reason that it's been leveled is because there are so many leaders that are sitting here going, we got freedom. Now what do we do? And in many of the papers in the UK today, it said, now what? That's a heavy duty thing. Now what? Because people don't. Go right ahead. I'm serious.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry.
Now this gives everybody the opportunity. This now gives everybody the opportunity to learn, to be educated. Because let's be honest, a lot of people were relying on other people to educate them. Now it is your turn and actually your responsibility to learn this. I can admit, I was one of those people in the past that I allowed others to educate me. Now it's all my job. It's my responsibility. And it is my duty to learn what they're getting ready.
Okay, we lost you a little bit, Pamela, but I know we get the point. And in fact, when you speak about responsibility, I will tell you that I recall something that my mom had said to me once. She said, you know, when I go into the doctor's office and the doctor says, but I'm the doctor, she says, yes, and I'm the patient. And if for whatever reason something goes wrong, guess who has to live with the results? You will have a mouthful of I'm sorries. In the end, though, I'm the one that's going to have to live with it for the duration of my life. I'm going to be the one living with that. And so I have to say what Pamela said was right on point, is that it is imperative that we become the stewards, that we learn. And I'll tell you one thing, accelerated process. There, you know what? There is something called YouTube. And as we sometimes will sit down and we will burn the midnight oil watching all kinds of TV programs and we'll blitz that kind of stuff, guess what? Start blitzing that. There are plenty of experts that are on. You hear them speaking and they are giving you reference. So we don't need to read it all. However, we can read some of it and then we can YouTube it, we can Google it. There are so many things that we can do to help advance our agendas, to help advance our blueprints. See, this is about you, it's about me, it's about us. Therefore, there is nobody for us to say, oh, well, it's their fault. No, no, no. It's our fault because we're sharing it right now. We are the stewards of our own destiny. We are the stewards of our own life plan. So we need to be the ones. And I know I sound like a preacher right about now, and I'm not trying to sound like a preach. I'm trying to share with you to be the expert that you have become accustomed to, that you have allowed into your household, to say that it is up to us. If it is to be, it depends on who? You know the end of that. Pamela, what are you thinking right
That's
about
right.
now? What are you thinking right about now? Is
So
that not
agree
true?
with you, Brent. So, and again, ladies, we're not here to post our opinions on you. We are here to educate you. We are here because let's say this. I know many women will always say, I wish someone would just help me, or I wish someone would nudge me. We're not here to push you our beliefs, but we are here to nudge you to get you to that next level. So be understanding. That's what we're doing here, ladies. Because let me say this, I'm glad we're here to nudge. I'm glad we're here to nudge you, and we're glad here to educate you.
And you know, one of the beauties of this is we teach so we learn as well. We teach so we learn as well. Because I've got to be prepared. Pamela's got to be prepared. And especially when we started off and we said, the topic of today is going to be protect your assets. And then we turn around and change it up and go, oh, no, no, no. We need to talk about the effect of the Britics on us as individuals, the effects on our households, the effects on the action plan that we need to take. It just changed the whole game plan. And the beauty of it all is between the two of us, we have watched so much. We've listened to so much. We've read so much that we went, we can do this. We can talk about the effects and what the next steps should be. That is so, it was a no-brainer, but we knew that it's the hottest topic that needs to be discussed because you've got so many leaders that just do not, they're sitting here going, what do we do? And we're sharing with you that from a wealth perspective, there are three pots. Wealth Warriors is dedicated to creating wealth and leaving legacies for the next generation. We're working on three platforms. The first platform is business ownership, because we know that every wealthy person owns. See, that three-letter word is powerful. That second platform is real estate investing, because we know that there's no more earth to be built. Earth is dirt. It's here. It's what's being constructed on it. Do you know that, that in Martha's Vineyard, one of the places that I enjoy for the summer, there's no more earth to build on. Those property values have skyrocketed because there's nothing more. It's only the real estate that's there. There's almost nothing. There is some to build on, but it's so populated that it's forced the property values up. The third platform is about monetary instruments, and I am putting gold and silver in that category. We saw gold go up. The gold is the standard. Yes, you can put your money in platinum and other items, but gold is a standard. What we're conveying to you is use the revenue that you generate in platform number one to invest in platform number two and platform number three. And at some point, platform number two generates enough capital that you can take one and two and really hunker down into platform number three. Again, old money didn't start off that way. It started off with you and I being stewards, investing wisely so that it does become old money. Hashtag, I am a lady warrior. Hashtag, wealth, just do it. What are you thinking, Pamela? I'm
I
having
think that
fun.
is so
I'm
true.
having fun this morning.
Me
As
too.
horrific as what's going on, I'm actually having fun this morning. Go right ahead.
I loved it. I love that we got to talk about it. Talked about it. So it needs to be. I'm just so glad. And ladies, actually, absolutely. Let's let's go. Let's go move forward together on this.
And you know what? This is an opportunity to create a family thing. It is mothers, fathers, children sitting down and having a discussion about how we are going to move forward. And here's the reason why we are paring down. We have created a budget and we're paring down and we're taking these funds and we're going to do something with these funds. We're going to take these funds and we're going to invest them over here. Here is an incredible opportunity to make that happen. You know, there are youth credit unions, and one of the founders of the youth credit union movement is a woman by the name of Carol Arangel, who was out of Springfield, Massachusetts, who said we need to have our youth understanding things. So guess what? It's not something unusual. It's not a phenomenon that when we get to 18, then we start. No, let's start our kids moving in the right direction, understanding not only how money works, how to invest it. Let them understand that lemonade stand that they created, how they can take some of those funds and save and invest. And also, you can take a little to go over here and do the things that you want to do. Give them balance. There is still time. We're not in the ground yet. And as long as we're not in the ground, let's not be tired. You know, it's interesting. I have had discussions around the target market of the Wealth Warrior broadcast, of the target market of the website that we're creating. And I say more often than not, I've talked to people who are about 50 and they say, I'm tired, Brent. This is no time to be tired. Your retirement depends on you being awake. So for those that are 50 and above, get animated. For the youth, you want to get animated. You want to not have to go through what we're going through. So start out early. Start out early investing in your insurance policies. Start out early creating the family trust. Start out early creating the LLCs so that all the information you're getting here, you're pouring in, and the legacy is in place. Woo! Talk to
That's
me.
all. That is powerful.
Oh
Powerful.
my goodness. Yes. Talk to me, Pamela. Say what you've got to say. Oh, you're a little bit blackened out. I can't see you quite here, but go right
Oh,
ahead because we can
okay.
hear you.
Okay, great. Well, you know what? Funny enough, I just had that talk with somebody who just is like, I believe he's around 50. And do you know, he said the same thing. He's like, I'm tired. I'm like, how can you be tired? Tired of what? If you don't get up and get moving, this is time. You know what I say? 50 is the new 20. That means you get up and you get moving. Get up. You know what?
I
Don't,
I like
this
that.
is
50 when it comes to your finances, 50 is the new 20.
get up. Don't fight. Don't give up the fight to the end. And that's what I had to tell him. And I told him, I said, well, let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up until the last piece of paper has thrown to me. Until then, I'm fighting all the way to the end. Absolutely.
You know, what Pamela brought out is so true. I like that. For financial purposes, 50 is the new 20. And 20, we're meeting you there. That's the point. We are meeting you there. You know, as we're starting to wind down, and I'm really hoping that you grab some nuggets this morning, I want to make sure that we're real clear with the fact that the Britics scenario, what's happening in the UK leaves opens up doors of opportunity. At a minimum, it opens up conversations with our peers, conversations with our families. This is not a crisis that should position us where we become deer in the headlights. That is such a critical part. You know, as I shared with you early on, a representative, Gregory Meeks, who sits on the Financial Services Committee, said that while companies are thinking about moving, do not allow that to get in the way of what you and I need to do. Yes, Alan Greenspan said that this is the worst thing that he's ever seen in his lifetime as a public servant. Do not allow that to get in the way of what you need to do. We do need to protect our assets. So now is the time when we're sitting down with our legal counsel, when we're sitting down with our financial planners, we need to be talking to them about family trusts. We need to talk to them about LLCs. We need to talk to our insurance professional about our insurances and how we are going to protect ourselves. It's called a belt and suspenders. The strategy that Wealth Warriors is adopting, I'm telling you truly, is the right strategy. And that is business ownership. It is investing in real estate, becoming a real estate investor. And it is about understanding and investing in monetary instruments. You know, today we were trying to figure out how to have all of you engaged. And so you would see a whole string of all of us having conversations today about this. So we hope that we're not talking at you. We are actually talking with you. It is a powerful time that we're living in. It is an exciting time. It is a volatile time. There are those that have regrets and recrimination about what just happened, and they are scrambling. Let us not be the scramblers. Hashtag, we are warriors. Hashtag, I am a lady warrior. For the men, hashtag, you are a man warrior. Those are important elements. Tagline, wealth, just do it. With that being said, we've got a couple of announcements. My most major announcements is July 29th through the 31st. All roads lead to the big ATL Atlanta. That's what we're talking about. You want to go up on shespeaksworldwide.com and register. When you go on that site, touch the ambassador tab, look for Brent Harding. I am your ambassador representing the state of Massachusetts. We want to represent connections. Wealth is also about the connections. It is connecting with people so your tentacles go far and wide throughout the country and throughout the world. We have people that are coming from London, from China, from Trinidad, from the Caribbean, all convening in Atlanta. Why? Because we are talking about our destinations, where we want to see ourselves in 48 months from now. And I got to tell you, for the price, it is well worth it. I've never seen a program like this that is going to be so cost effective, that is going to cause you to reap phenomenal benefits. There will be discussions on wealth building. There will be discussions on ownership. There will be our stories. What will your story be in 48 months from now? Will you have accomplished what you set out to do? That, ladies and gentlemen, is powerful. There will be the she speaks and the he speaks. So we are coming together now as a unit. Is that not powerful? Man, this has been an awesome Saturday morning. I want to thank my co-host Pamela Stone for being with us this morning. I want to give the shout out to Betty Speaks, the first person on the broadcast this morning. Hey, Betty, it was good to have you with us. And for everybody that is with us every single week, we appreciate you. We value you. And it is my hope that we are bringing value to you. With that being said, I'm going to say today, go out and be extraordinary. We'll see you next week. Brent Harding and Pamela Stone signing off. Bye now.